Just finishing up on a call here.
I can see that.
The unobtainable fuel pump. Not making them anymore. People are scalping parts now.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I paid $145 for the pump from Worldpack. The only one I can find is $560 on eBay.
Not fun.
Yeah, it's for a Bentley,
Oh, okay.
Rolls Royce, Bentley. Howdy, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
How we doing?
Good. Glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
Throw a rock at Ryan here in a second if he doesn't log on. I'll be right back.
I'll be here. Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Eric. How are you?
Fantastic. How you doing?
I'm good. I sent you a PM yesterday and I never got a response yet. So
When you sent it to Facebook?
directly on Facebook, yes.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't make it up.
Hang on, let me check this out here.
I forget to do stuff like that.
Yep, I get that.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, not a problem. I was Bobby and I were both shocked when we saw my name on the list. We didn't know how I got on the list, but we're like, okay.
I was looking for specific people that I knew, you know, that I knew the name and knew who they were, in geographic areas that they want to do the pilot on.
Okay.
And so there you were.
Can you resend that? Hang on, I'm not, for some reason I'm not seeing that.
Okay. Basically what it was is you did a live at 9 with another shop about their virtual service advisor.
Okay.
And I'm trying to find it so I can watch it, and neither me nor Bobby could find it.
Okay. Can you put your, can you send me put your email address in the chat?
Kim, Eric, Kim had something to say about that this morning. She was answering a question on that for
Okay.
somebody else. So check with her on that.
Will do.
I think she pulled it off for a reason.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it.
Hi, Joelle.
How are you?
Good. Glad to have you here.
Oh yeah, no, appreciate you guys putting this together.
On a Zoom right now. Just a salad would be fine.
That works for me too. You can have them delivered here.
Caesar salad?
Yeah. What kind of salad are we getting?
Greek salad.
Nice.
Okay.
Let me see if Amy's hopping on here.
And we'll give her by just a couple minutes if that's okay. I feel like we should be entertaining people while we're sitting here.
Yeah, I know. Tell us a joke, Jim.
I don't know any. It's actually, I've been, mostly I hear dad jokes, you know.
Those are always good.
Yeah, AT&T and Verizon got together, you know, decided to get married, and the wedding wasn't great, but the reception was phenomenal.
Nice.
Um,
The only one I remember from my kid joke book growing up was, did you hear about the fight in the candy store? Two
okay.
suckers got licked. That's all
Oh.
I got.
No, I haven't been. I do hear them, but I hear them from the kids, and they tend to go from here to here and back out. I did invite a few more people than this. Here's some more. I see Amy's here too.
Yes, can you hear me? For some reason, my video is not working, so I'm gonna play around with the settings.
Okay.
But at least you can hear me. I guess that's the most important thing until I get the settings right here.
Okay. That is good. Hi, Bobby. Thank you for being here.
How are you?
Good. We go one more minute if that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm recording for anybody that doesn't get here.
Yeah, I know you had Andy Worden on your list. He's alone in his shop and can't make it. So I wanted to send that to him after he's done.
There's probably more people than that are in that same boat. I've got Casey said he was doing open coaching or coaching a group coaching during this same time. So
Trying to help Amy here with the camera.
Bob, you said Andy's alone again?
Well, Corey's gone. He's got Ricky there, but he's got a boatload of cars he's trying to get done.
Okay.
Where he decided to leave a week early, apparently get his boat in the water in Colorado. It's more important than making money.
well,
Wow.
we do have our priorities.
Yes, we do. Charlie, I've seen you an awful lot this week.
You think? I've been in Zoom an awful lot too. I'm gonna be in again, at least two more meetings today.
There you go.
There you
I,
are,
Challenge
Amy.
you, Bobby.
now we have Amy.
Yeah.
You know, as you were saying that just now, Charlie, Bobby, it's like, you know, I think this is my 5th call so far today.
I've been on them all morning, so it is what it is.
It's I did see because in the coaches meeting the other day, somebody brought up the name of a company, and I thought that's interesting. I've never heard of them, so I actually had a demo from them a few minutes ago that was pretty good. And then a payroll company that I've been talking to asked me the same thing just recently, you know, so I wanted to see their product. And so I've had 3 new demos this morning from new people in addition to people that I already know. So
Nice.
Hey, Andy made it.
UPS.
Oh, he did make it.
we were just talking about how busy you were.
Yeah, I'm busy. And I have to use my phone.
All right, that works.
Thanks for being here. Joel, this is not as many as I was hoping for, but we can share and talk about it. And
Yep. Absolutely. Well, appreciate you guys that are on here taking time. I know we said 30 minutes and you're all busy. So Amy and I, let me see if I could share my screen. We put together a few slides. We only have 56 of them. Just kidding. There's like 9. But we're going to take you through kind of who we are, what we're doing. Amy will kind of go through more of the process, and we'll wrap up with some pricing and, hopefully in the next 15 minutes, we could get through this and then open it up for discussion, questions, feedback, and go from there. So let me share.
You're sharing something.
Can you guys see this? I'm Zoom,
We
so I
can.
can't.
We can see you.
You could see the screen.
Blue and black Promotive.
Perfect. All right. So we'll dive right in here. So here's the bulk of our team today, and I'll give you a little bit about who I am, where I came from. There's also someone not on here who's another co-founder. It's actually her second startup company in the automotive space, and she's playing investor role today. But the plan is second half of the year and into 2024, she'll come on full time and help and work with shops. So between her, myself, Kat, we have a lot of automotive experience. I spent almost 10 years with Napa, and graduated college and went right into the management trainee program. Went from Buffalo to Syracuse, down to headquarters in Atlanta, where I'm at today. So really spent the last 5 years with Napa Auto Care, and had the privilege of working with independent repair shops and owners across the country. So for me, it was a bittersweet decision because again, love Napa and have it's all I really know, but it was a really great opportunity working with Amy and Lisa, and we put our heads together and said, okay, like what's a challenge and opportunity that we could help independent owners with in the automotive space. And as we all know, there's a tech shortage, and 9 out of 10 shops or 10 out of 10 shops could use some type of help, and if you don't need it today, you're probably going to need it tomorrow, right? So while recruiting isn't necessarily solving the tech shortage, it's if we can save 1 or 2 or 3 techs that maybe aren't in the right shop and save them from leaving the industry, that's a step in the right direction. And then we have future plans on ways we can contribute to help solve this tech shortage and good quality tech. So that's a little bit about me and the company. And then Amy has about 15 years of recruiting experience, focusing on in technology. So she knows all the ins and outs and experience in recruiting. And same thing with Kelly. They actually worked together for a while. So we were able and lucky enough to bring on Kelly, who really focuses on the recruiting side. And then Kat, who's our COO, she has experience. She's kind of jack of all trades in private equity, startup companies, corporate side. So she does all of our finance, HR, systems, technology, you name it. So she kind of connects the recruiting and the sales side together. So again, that's something that I think from what we've learned over the past few months, and there's a lot of different recruiting companies and staffing companies out there. But what's unique is we're solely focused on automotive, this industry, independent shops, and we have the automotive and the recruiting experience. So that's a little bit about us. And the biggest thing with us and what we pride ourselves on and kind of our value proposition is that we're your full service, an extension of your team. And, we want to do 90-95% of the work for you. You guys are busy running your businesses, taking care of your people, making sure your culture is right, taking care of your customers. So, our biggest thing is we want to manage that recruitment process from start to finish. Amy, I'll try not to take any of your thunder because Amy's going to really take you through what her and Kelly are doing and what that looks like in depth. I'm going to give you a little bit, probably more than you need, but I like to I'm pretty transparent and like to give you kind of our vision. And as we go throughout this, I'll share where we started. And even in the last 60 days, we've been fully launched, full blown for the last almost 60 days. And we've listened to our customers. We've made changes in pricing and different markets, things like that. Even from adding an account manager. So something that I think makes us really unique is originally we were going to have a recruiter and the sales side. But what we've learned is, by managing the whole process from the sourcing, the vetting, the posting on the job boards, the scheduling the interviews, making sure they show up for the interviews, making sure they show up for day one, the negotiations and the offer. So all of that we're taking on for you. And the whole goal is that we have real people with experience vetting through these candidates, and we'll share the numbers at the end with you of how many resumes we sort through, our placement percentages, things like that. But again, the whole goal is that we're delivering quality over quantity. We're not guaranteeing you're going to get 10 resumes a week, 20 interviews a month. We're guaranteeing that we're going to bring you, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 good candidates, whether it's a B-Tech or a service advisor, Loop Tech, general service. So we've placed all of those different positions from entry level to master techs. And in year 1, we originally said our goal was 150 rooftops. But again, we've learned working with more multi-shop owners, we want 150 relationships in year 1. So, we're currently working with 25 different shops. We all met together in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, and we even looked at what does an accelerated model look like based on the demand that we're getting. So we have our plans in place. We're looking to bring on a new recruiter next month. So we want to make sure we're delivering on what we say we're going to deliver for you. Our target markets, so Atlanta, Dallas, the Tampa Bay area, California, Jersey, Philly. So again, when we launched, we were only going to focus on those markets and build a wait list outside. But about 75% of our current customers are outside of those markets. And what that really means, it doesn't mean a ton to our customers, but I like to share our internal focus. So we got to crawl before we walk before we run. So our whole goal in these markets is to build our database, our technician database, our service advisor database, because once we're able to go to you guys and say, hey, you sign up today and we have a database of 100 B-Techs, 50 A-Techs in the Atlanta area, and we could plug them in that much quicker, right? Now, of course, it's going to take time to build them up in those markets. And the more shops we take on in different markets, we'll open that market up as well. But again, we're doing business all over the country, working with candidates and shops. And the biggest difference in these markets are that we're spending $10,000, $15,000 a month through Facebook ads. So if you open Facebook, you might see ads that are geared toward technicians. So again, really dedicated as we're doing the proactive approach. We really want to capture a lot of those passive candidates too, which Amy will touch on. So again, we don't want just any shop out there. We want ones with good culture, pay, benefits, that take care of their people, that are doing all the right things, that are busy shops that, they can guarantee to their candidates, hey, you can flag 40, 50 hours a week, whatever the case may be. So always be recruiting that mindset. And then just a couple other things, we're all in, we're participating in all the industry events. We'll be at Apex SEMA, ATI, Super Conference next year. And then kind of our next phase is partnering with technical schools. I sit on the ASE Education Foundation board, and there's like 1,500 ASE accredited schools out there as well. So again, we're really, this is going to transpire into more than just recruiting, right? It's an industry. We're all in this together. So we want to make sure that short-term, medium-term, long-term, we're doing the right things for the industry. So with that, Amy, I will turn this slide over to you.
Yeah, hi, everybody. Nice to meet you virtually. So this slide, I know, looks like a lot of information. I won't go through all of these things, but I think that the purpose of this slide is to show you, when we first started this, our goal was to bring technicians and service advisors and all of the other types of roles we see to the best shops. And since we've really expanded into actually making this as part of our full-time day-to-day, we've realized that one of the key values that differentiates us from many of our other competitors is our full process. So again, as Joelle mentioned, it's not just sending you resumes. We're actually purposely scheduling time. I just got off of a call actually with a shop where we're spending 30 minutes to an hour with you, really understanding not just your job requirement, but your culture, what's important to you, what soft skills are you looking for, all of that, to make sure that when we're vetting candidates on the front end, we're screening out a lot of the candidates that don't meet what we believe your qualifications are. And then from there, we're taking all of that administrative work off of your plate. So typically I like to work directly with the shop owners or the hiring manager at the shop, whoever that may be. And then the account manager, right now, that's mostly me. I'm your main point of contact so that you're telling me, here's what my availability is. We get the candidates available so that you're immediately not having to, play phone tag with candidates while running a shop. We're also say that a lot of that negotiation, we're that middleman and that mediator between the candidate to really understand what's the candidate's motivations and then what we need to close the deal. We're also managing it through the full process through onboarding and then after onboarding. So helping coach the candidate on counter offer, resignation, working to schedule towing tools to your new shop, uniform sizes, anything onboarding, we're taking off of your plate, which is, I think, one of the biggest key differentiators in the industry right now. And that's been really well received with the shops that we're working with today.
Next slide.
Yeah, on to the next slide. Yeah, and I'll make it quick. So what we wanted to highlight is, as Joelle mentioned, we're not solving the technician shortage, right? But I do feel strongly, and I am very passionate about this industry, that we are really exposing the best professionals. Our goal is to expose the best professionals in the industry to the best shops. And that might not be always your A-Tech. That might be your general service technician that is looking for a shop that will take them under their wing and mentor them. And like, how much more positive is that person's experience within the industry when we're able to do that? So what I wanted to highlight is how we have found the most success with our best shops. So obviously, as Joelle mentioned, approaching a hiring as a true partnership. We're not just sending you resumes, we're communicating with you all of the ins and outs on the candidate side about them personally and why they're looking to make a move, and identifying red flags and making sure that we communicate that clearly and effectively with each other. Quick communication is key, as we know, because these people have lots of options out there. And then we also manage the full process, including the offer letter. So oftentimes we've seen where a verbal offer is extended to the candidate accepts the offer verbally, but then because you're running your shop, it might take you 1 or 2 days to get that written offer out to that candidate. We're managing that process. We're getting the written offer out through DocuSign so that that candidate has it, so that they feel confident that they can resign, and we're managing that. And that has actually been a real differentiator between candidates accepting the position and actually starting, because we're able to really lock them in and eliminate that uncertainty as to whether or not that offer is going to come. So interview process. You guys probably all know, because you run successful shops, like interviewing quickly is key when that candidate is available. We try to do, just this morning, I sent a resume to a shop last night around 9 p.m. And then we were on the phone today and getting that interview scheduled at 12 o'clock today, because that candidate was, active, and we want to get that person in there right away and show them what they can, what this shop looks like, so that we can get that offer going. So time kills all deals. We got to get them in quickly. And so I always ask shops to, be flexible and work with us so that we can get candidates in quickly. And then as far as the overall shop itself, you guys can kind of read through this. It's really just making sure that our job is to, help to educate what we're hearing on the market, what we're hearing from the techs, what we're hearing from the shops, and make sure that when we're, even as far as in the intake process on the front end, that we're actually setting your shop up for success by helping you to understand what the technicians are hearing, what they're seeing from other shops out there, and making sure that when we're putting an offer together, we're able to clearly articulate the value of them making a move to your shop. So I highlighted at a high level some things there around training and development, guaranteeing a number of hours for experienced tech. Benefits, as you guys know, are important in PTO from the start. Just overall culture and training, those are really the keys to get the great technicians and service advisors and others into the shop. So just at a high level, kind of wanted to go through what our last 60 days has looked like. So as Joelle mentioned, we're not only getting candidates responding to us through our job postings, our Facebook ads and things like that. We're also going out and proactively, this is all we do. So we are actively searching for candidates and reaching out to them proactively to try to get them engaged in the shop. So at a high level, we've reviewed over the last 60 days, almost 3,000 resumes for our 20 plus shops. And of those, we're screening through those resumes. And when we pre-screen a candidate, that's us having a conversation, 15 to 30-minute conversation with a candidate to see, does this candidate match what we believe this shop is looking for? We're not technical. I mean, I don't know how to repair a car as you guys do, but I do know how to recruit, and I do know how to ask the right questions and dig in and identify red flags. And so that's what we're doing on the front end to make sure that when we submit a candidate to you, that we believe that they are worth your time to interview. So of the client interviews, one of the things I'm most proud of is our first interviews to offers and our client submittals to first interviews. So we expect that we're going to submit ideally, 2 to 3, ideally more like 3 candidates per job, so that you'll have a option of candidates at various levels and backgrounds that you're going to interview. But of those first interviews to offers, we have 75% of our first interviews move to offers. So again, it's less about hitting an expectation of this is how many resumes you're going to see. It's more about when we submit a candidate to you, we believe that it's worth your time to interview that candidate. And of the offers that we've extended, because we've managed that process on both sides with the shop and the candidate, of our 12 offers extended, 10 have accepted and all have started. So all have started, they're working and they're doing well. So we also manage that process from offer accepted to start, as I said, to make sure that as much as possible, we don't lose people through that process. We're in the people business, so sometimes it does happen, but we do everything that we can to make sure that that person starts, and all of our offers accepted have started. So we're really proud of that.
Awesome. So for the pricing and how it works, and I'll kind of take you through some of the changes that we've made. So typically it's a 12-month contract. And if you're single location, $199 a month. And then it was $199 per rooftop when we started, but then we added these tiers in. So if you have 2 or 3 locations, it'd be $349 a month. Talking with Jim, and again, appreciate you guys taking time and listening to us. So if you guys are interested in hearing more, learning more, wanting us to join your team, we'll do a special 6-month contract. Again, we need, in our financial model, when we were based on our assumptions and everything, we were saying it would take 90 days for a placement, right? So we can't do a 3-month contract because you need to give Amy and Kelly time to do their thing. What I'll tell you is, they're rock stars. We're placing candidates a lot quicker than the 90 days, even than 60 days. And it depends on the market. There's a lot of factors that go into that, but Amy, don't, I know they've made placements within days, within weeks. But again, our expectation is, 90 days, but, especially in the Atlanta market and in our target markets, metro areas, and we're seeing a lot quicker turnaround times and things like that. So anyways, it'd be a 6-month contract for you guys. And then in hopes that we're delivering, doing the right things, and we extend the partnership. So the placement fee, how it works. So that's the monthly subscription in the chart there based on how many rooftops you have. I say 13 to 15% placement fee. Because we actually, on the next slide, I'll show you, we rolled out a rate card. So it's in $5,000 increments of the compensation of the candidate's compensation. So this is, as you guys know, there's flat rate, there's hybrid, there's salary, there's hourly, there's a million different ways that each shop pays their, whether it's an A tech or B tech, or different techs are paid different ways. So we really tried streamlining this. And we've tweaked this a few times. We actually just nailed it down yesterday. So even more. So we say based on the first year's guaranteed compensation. So if you're on a hybrid model, or, after you flag 40 hours, you get an extra $1. If you're salary or hourly, we're basically taking that guaranteed times 40 hours a week. So if it's $30 an hour, we're timesing it by 2,080 hours. Now, if it's flat rate, we're going to use 45 hours, which is about 2,300 hours is what we times the hourly rate by. And again, we feel like we know, and the shops know, they're going to make more than that guaranteed, right? Because they're going to be the right candidate. They're going to turn more hours for you. But so when you think about it, it's actually closer to 11, 12, 13%. Because it's based on the guaranteed, not their OTE and what they'd make for that year. We've added a cap. So, we've been working with some shops that, there's master techs that are making 140, 150, 160. So we've capped it. It's basically about $135,000 salary. It's, we won't charge any more than the 20,000. Another change that we just rolled out a couple of weeks ago is, on the start date, when the candidate starts, we would collect that placement fee, but now we're collecting it in 2 different payments. So half on the start date and then half 30 days later. And then what we say is, the candidate will, we guarantee the 30 days that they'll be with you. If for some reason they decide to leave, you terminate them, whatever the case may be, we'll find a replacement for that candidate within 60 days. Now, I'll tell you, if they leave you or you decide they're not a right fit at day 35 or 40, we're going to work. We'll find a replacement. We're always going to do the right thing, and it's all about communication and working together on that. So here's this is all in our contract too. It's laid out with the placement. So you look at 100,000 to 104,999 would be $15,000. So if you're on the higher end, you win a couple points. And then if you're on the lower end, it's about that 15%. The other thing that we say is whatever that initial offer is at. So if it's $30 an hour guaranteed for 40 hours, and this is what Amy works with you on and goes and then works with the candidate, and we go and she does the negotiation. If you really like that candidate and they're looking for $32 an hour, and that's what you change the offer to, we only bill you on that initial offer. If it's within that 20%, if you're paying $50 an hour, then we have a discussion. But we want to be able to give you the flexibility to negotiate without you feeling like, you know, we're gonna make money on that negotiation. So it's whatever that initial offer is. And then here's some testimonials. Michelle Tanzi out of the Bay Area, and then Aaron Smith. Michelle was our beta. You could see, I'm not going to read this to you, but just called out some of the highlights there. So majority of the seeking and the recruiting, recruiting's time consuming, basically everything that we just talked about. Amy getting a good shout out from Aaron there. So here's my email and phone number. So make sure you guys take this down. Our website's gopromotive.com. I know, Jim, you're gonna share with me who was on here. We are right on time here, but I want to make sure that we have a couple minutes to capture some feedback, some questions, comments. So we'll pause, and if you have anything, feel free to just shout out.
My name's Ryan. I'm just curious about what's enticing for a technician to work with Promotive.
Say that again. What's enticing for a technician?
Yeah, like how is there a difference from, like, let's say you reaching out on LinkedIn versus me, right?
Yes.
Yep. And do you want to take that, Amy?
Yeah, sure. Hi. So it's funny, I was actually just talking to Kelly about this topic this morning, so it's perfect, perfect intro. So I would tell you this, first of all, most technicians are kind of surprised at the service that we provide, and I would say that meaning like pleasantly surprised. And so for us, rather than just calling them about like one job at one shop, our goal, and in many of our, in a few of our target markets right now, is to show them what options are out there. And so I think that, first of all, they appreciate that we're taking the time to get to know them and get to know what they do and what's important to them. And they, in a similar way to some of the shops, they're busy, working on cars. They don't necessarily have time to go like searching for shops. And for us, as we've talked to them, we are not just working with every single shop out there. As Joelle mentioned, we're being very selective with the shops that we have, and we're vetting the shop as well as vetting the candidate. And so, for them, rather than them just applying blindly and hoping for the best and then getting in for an interview and realizing like this isn't a place that they want to work, they feel that because we are doing that vetting on the front end, that we're able to position them at shops that would be good for their career. And we are doing that. So we're able to give them more insight around the shop. Because we know the shop, we know the shop owner, we're working closely with them than if they were to just apply. So that's been a big thing. And then also like that negotiation piece, just as much as, I don't know that any of us love negotiating, but especially for, maybe a technician that's used to working all day with their hands, and now they're in this situation where they're having to negotiate and go back and forth. We're able to kind of take that process away for them and like level set, on both sides, what we need to do, to keep, to get this offer moved forward. And so we've had a really fantastic response from the technicians. There's a couple testimonials on our website. And I think that the number one thing is that we're able to position them with shops that will take care of them and grow them and, offer them an amazing career. And that's what that's really one of the main reasons why we're doing that.
And Amy, I think that too. And then, help, a lot of them don't have resumes. So helping them if they need help brushing up their resumes, which is big.
That's true.
Yeah. And that's where it's big, where we found that it would be more valuable adding that account manager. So just as the account manager is the dedicated person for the shop, like the recruiter is, like Kelly's building these relationships and making sure, even So it's, we have a dedicated person on the candidate side and on the shop side, which we found, and we've gotten good response from that.
Yeah. Once they get their resume, we're helping them with their resumes. And many times we have to kind of write the resume truthfully or help them with it. And, you know, we give them that resume. So we're giving them that resume that whether they want to use that resume for this shop or any other shop that they're applying to, they have that. So I forgot about that, but yes, that's a big part of what we do with them.
Well, okay, and I was thinking, the other thought that I had, and I know that you'll say this, is that it's not cheap for us to put ads on LinkedIn or Indeed or any of those other places, and we don't always get responses. And so this means you don't have to be doing those ads. This means you don't have to screen through however many applications there are in LinkedIn to see who's in the St. Petersburg area or who's in, you know, Kennesaw or anything like that. I mean, it's right there. And so it's somebody else doing the sorting and the digging through. I like that. I like that they do the first and second interviews. I mean, that they screen them first so that when you get it, they're ready. And that was what I liked about it. And I like that, you know, we've got car people overseeing it.
Yeah, most of the shops that we work with now have asked me right away. So does this mean I don't have to put my ads on all of these job boards and write my job description? And we take that off of your plate. So we're writing your job descriptions, helping you identify or, you know, position yourself to create the most buzz around your jobs. And then, yes, we're fully vetting that. So we're taking all of that off your plate. Our goal is that you don't have to do any of that.
Cool. Thanks for that response. You guys seem like a real recruiter. Anyone I've dealt with in the past has been a researcher and not a recruiter.
Yeah. We are real. I promise you that. Yes.
And that's where Amy, you know, when this thing was, I mean, back in September, and we were talking with Lisa, our other co-founder, and, you know, Amy's learned all about master techs and flat rates and all the lingo. And I mean, she's rock star recruiter, but I mean, even over the last 8-9 months, I mean, you could truly say now that she's a rock star in automotive recruiting. So it's been fun to watch, and all the questions.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah. Recruiting is recruiting, you know, you have to know how to ask the right questions, screen the candidates, all of that. Learning the industry is always, you know, a new adventure. But yeah, I mean, we've been doing this now for almost 8 or 9 months. So we're still learning every day, right? But I think we have a pretty solid understanding now of what our shops are looking for. And I think our results speak for that.
Anything else?
How did you guys get in touch with ATI?
So
I mean, Jim's one of my best friends.
So yes.
No, so I mean, you want to go, Jim?
Yeah. So Joelle headed up the Napa Auto Care program. And so I've known her for, I don't know, 10 years.
Yeah.
Almost since she came into the industry.
Yeah.
But she's been my primary contact at Napa for the last 5 years. And so that's actually how we really got to it. And this was a matter of how we're going to find the right thing. The biggest need people are saying is everybody's looking for help and nobody can find the right help. If they can find just somebody to you know, fog a mirror, some can't even find a fog a mirror person. So, you know, in addition to just that they're alive, is that they're alive and that they've had a pre-screening that they've gone through and that they want to come to work. So it's a pre-screening kind of thing, and that's what I like. And yeah, I've known Joelle, and I've also known Lisa for a long time as well. And she's the other partner that's going to be getting more active. And I've probably known her for 10 years as well. So.
Yeah. So yeah, Jim and I have been in conversations and just kind of figuring out, you know, took Ron and Jim through this and, you know, said, what's the best approach? And let's, you know, pick a handful of shops, you know, of your good customers or members in the Atlanta area. And let's start there and see where it goes. And then, you know, if it's successful or we like it, let's move to Philly and the other target markets. And then, yeah, the goal is, to be at the super conference and partner with ATI. And I mean, you guys, like I said, I've been there for the last 5 super conferences and built lots of relationships with the customers there. And I mean, you guys are the best of the best, and that's who we want to work with.
And Charlie, if you really want to find out more, she can just walk into your door because she doesn't live that far from Kennesaw.
Where are you,
I'm in
Charlie?
Kennesaw.
Kennesaw? Okay, yeah, I'm right in like Smyrna, Mableton area, so 30 minutes.
That's what I was
Okay.
gonna ask if you were at the Napa headquarters, because I've been there a lot when they did.
Oh
training.
up until the end of March, I was there almost every day when I was traveling. So,
But Mike, she's going to be in St. Pete next week.
yep.
Okay, well, that's interesting. I said, Ryan has done a phenomenal job for us hiring. We've done 5 new hires in the last 6 months.
Holy cow.
And we have a staff of 16 now. We had guy give notice here on Monday, one of my ATECs, but fortunately,
I got a replacement already.
ATI has coached us up to have a bench, and but I see this as another potential source for us, and a something that may take a little bit of that load. I said Ryan's become a pretty damn good recruiter. So
Well, Ryan, we emailed, I think the first week, right? We exchanged some emails back and forth, and you worked with your uncle who had his yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I have like this sliver. I've been a researcher before, and that's why I say that is all these other companies, I'm like, that's all they are. That's it. They don't do anything else. Like, working the offer, right, from both sides, working the negotiation, whatever, that stuff means a lot. So yeah, I worked for my uncle for a while, and I worked in his office. So I saw the recruiting angle, and I was the researcher, So.
Yep.
He's got a process. He has a process that he's really developed. That's really turned for us good things. So
good.
It's ATI, man. They have a hiring class, and it's basics. You know what I mean? You just follow those basics. And same thing with marketing. People ask me like about how we get so much traffic off of Google. I'm like, there's a ATI class, and they just do the basics that they taught me. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, Jim,
appreciate
you putting this together, Jim. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Like I said, gopromotive.com, and then if you Joelle at gopromotive.com is my email.
Or just call me.
Yeah, and Jim, we'll share. I mean, we'll share the information too. So if you guys have any questions or follow-ups, I mean, reach out. We could schedule some time, take you through anything in more depth, or let's just stay connected too. So we'll see you around at industry events.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Andy, I know that you're shorthanded today, so thank you for coming on here. I really appreciate that.
all right.
Thank
All
you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
Take care.
very much.
All
Thank
right.
you, Andy, a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.